Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Page Fights. Thank you so much for joining us for our third episode of this really fun first series that we've been running. You basically watched us in the first episode. We cut to, from hundreds, essentially. We reviewed 33, and then we got down to 10, and last week we were 5, and now today we're 3 after the vote from last week. And by the end of the show, we'll have whittled it all the way down to 1, where we will crown our landing page champion. So for today, what we're going to do is we're going to talk to the top threes, see some before and after shots, discuss what kind of advice they implemented, what results they've seen so far, what could help them do a little bit better. Also, just following that, we're going to open up the voting, so it'll be live during this episode, and so that we can announce it by the end of the show, the winner. And during that voting time, we're going to take questions from the audience. So this is your opportunity to ask those burning questions about landing page optimization, A/B testing, all those things that you guys have always wanted to know. Maybe some questions that came up during some of these episodes. So definitely take advantage of that. We've got Pep and Ollie that'll be ready to answer your questions. So participate on Twitter and Google+, of course, using the hashtag PageFights. And then following the Q&A, what we're going to do is we're going to announce actually 3 winners today. So the referral winner, which I mentioned last time, so there is going to be somebody that will receive the second prize today. Also, we're going to do an audience participation again this episode, so make sure to participate on the social channels. Tia will be hanging out on there and participating, and she's going to let me know at the end of the show who she'd like to win the audience participation prize for this episode. And then, of course, we're going to crown our landing page champion. So let's get to it. We are going to be starting off our first of our top 3 is Paul Jarvis, who created the page Write and Sell Your Damn Book. But before I introduce him, I am going to introduce our judges, because I forgot to do that. We have Ollie Gardner, the co-founder of Unbounce, with us. Welcome back, Ollie. You look very studious today.
Hello, everybody.
And we have Pep, Laja from ConversionXL and Marketect, who's also looking quite nerdy. Thanks. I think we're going to be abusing these Hangout things, unfortunately. Pep, I need you to unmute yourself.
Your wish is my command. Hello.
Awesome. Okay, great. So we've got Paul Jarvis, like I said, is our first of our top 3, who built the page Write and Sell Your Damn Book. So Paul, say hello.
Hey guys.
Hi, Paul. All right.
So I don't have any Google effects happening for me.
You can if you want to, though. That's the scary part.
Real headphones?
All right. So we're going to call up the before version, I think, of your page. Let me just see if that's up. Okay, so we're looking at your page right now. So go ahead, Paul, and tell us a little bit about, this is the original version. So maybe just tell us about some of the things that you learned and changed.
Sure, I'm just actually going to pull it up as well so I can remember. So yeah, what I changed was I got the first sentence, excuse me, to be a bit tighter to get to the point quicker. I put a binding box around the sign-up form and made it a different color, so that's more obviously the focal point. I also highlighted a few words that don't really. I think I highlighted launch, focus, and zombies, and then better writer, 10 billion copies, and perfect risotto. And then I also moved sponsorship logos a bit further down the page. I think that's all I did.
Here it is.
Yeah.
Great. Looks like some good changes. Ollie, Pep, do you have any feedback for him for the changes that he's made so far?
I like the fact that it's all left aligned now, that you can actually read the important stuff, top to bottom a lot more easily.
Right, one column is good.
Yeah, I do think maybe that the sponsorship logos might want to come back up a bit now that they have somewhere to sit on the other side of the page. I don't know, but I like it. It really stands out what you need to do, like you said, the encapsulated form.
I wouldn't think that the sponsors logos help people, get more people to download the thing. So I think it's good to keep them where they are now. But yeah, looks great, man.
Very clean.
Paul, are you running any tests on this right now, or I mean, do you have any additional sort of like questions, or have you seen any preliminary results?
Yeah, so I've seen, I mean, I don't really have much time to do a ton of promoting for this, so I haven't had that many people to the site. So the sample size for the week from last time we did the show to now isn't that many people. I think at like less than 300 visits, and where's my notes? Yeah, and
That's about
52
your average per
signups.
week, isn't it?
Yeah, so it went down from 24% to 18% conversions. But like I said, the sample size is so small. I don't know.
And we should also talk about A/B testing versus sequential testing.
Yeah.
If you just roll out all the changes and you don't have the control, the original version, we don't know whether the increase or decrease is caused by fluctuation in traffic, something in the air. You have no idea what your original version would have been, would have done. So we actually don't know. It's kind of a Schrodinger's cat situation here.
Right.
Also, when talking about sample sizes, the number of visitors is irrelevant. We only care about number of conversions. So if you run a test, you don't want to even think about the results unless both variations have at least 100 conversions or more, or 200 conversions. It all depends on the discrepancy between the two variations. Like, is it a 10% lift or 2% lift? It matters.
Yeah, and this is only about half that. This is only 50 conversions so far.
Right, so everything can change. So I do recommend that, if you roll out all the changes at once, what can happen is that some things get better, some get worse, and you don't know which is which. So it's good to isolate, factors and test them. But of course, I understand that traffic is an issue. If you need more traffic, then maybe you might want to spend some money.
That's an interesting point, though. I mean, I imagine a lot of people have that question or that thought. If you don't get much traffic, like sequentially, not sequentially, but iteratively testing, like test one thing, then another, that can take an awful long time. Versus the big bang, this is what I think is a better overall page. You can get if it wins, that's great. You don't know why, though, for the most part. It could be a combination of things, and then you can refine from there. But yeah, without much traffic, it's a tough one to figure out how to run the test best like that.
Guys, can you do me a favor? Can you take off your glasses? You can leave the hat, but please, okay. The glasses. I need to see your faces. Okay.
My hat is real. It's not even.
Ollie, goddammit. Okay, awesome. So yeah, so important stuff, important considerations there. Okay, cool. So let's move on to Ryan Walsh then. Thanks a lot, Paul. Ryan Walsh, the owner of Mind Over Pain, he's made some really big changes to his page. This looks completely different than the last time we saw it. Ryan, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you did?
Yeah, so first I replaced the cartoon video in the top right with a video of myself because the feedback was that explainer videos that look like the cartoon are probably better for tech companies, and for a health concern like this site, it's probably better to be more personal and relate authentically. I also got rid of this whole what people are saying section, and then the section retrain your brain with all of these stock images. That's completely removed. The general theme was trying to make the page a lot shorter and more personal, to make it more about me, to tell my story, to make it more convincing, because before the changes, it seemed a little bit too far-fetched.
Okay.
And this is the new version.
Yes, this is the new version.
You still need to replace the spooky, help, I'm seeing a ghost picture of you.
Which one? The on the left? I thought you guys said...
Yeah, the video looks fine.
But it's kind of weird now because obviously the photo was with a white background, so when it's hanging out over the green there, it does look kind of sketchy.
And it looks like you got rid of the wrist pain, but you got like some back pain instead,
I would say, Tommy, can you click on the read more? Just the little link at the bottom of the letter there. Where's that?
Not loading. This is the live. Thanks for that. This is the live page, right? Yeah.
Is that not working?
It's not opening up.
It's probably just Tommy needs some computer lessons. That's it.
Well, in absence of the internet working, what that does is. Tommy, we're on you now. We can see you, Tommy. Okay.
I think he did it on purpose. He's defending himself.
Talk amongst ourselves. When you click on it, it opens up and it pushes you down, Ryan.
Right.
Which I think is actually nicer because it doesn't have you covered in green and looking quite so gnarly there. It is. I would say, well, it's a good test to have a CTA still at the top to draw people down here. It does look very empty up there. Like there's nothing to actually do.
The call to action there at the bottom, I think it's you're kind of jumping the gun because once I fill out this form, I'm not curing the pain yet. This is still about me getting the course. So I mean, of course, I don't know, but I would think that you're like forgetting a step in the middle here. And also, all this it's $97 and now it's free thing. I mean, you definitely want to test whether that's an angle you want to use because it might backfire as well.
Have you run any tests on this, Ryan? Are you running a test currently? Or did you just make the changes? Oh no, Ryan's frozen in time.
Oh.
Well, the other thing I was going to say about this page is the CTA. There needs to be a CTA above the fold, other than just watching the video, right?
Not necessarily. Sometimes if the offer is more complex, it's not like a box of matches. It might be a good idea to, give more information, increase motivation before serving the call to action. So it's not a universal rule that it needs to be above the fold.
Right.
But worth a test, of course.
It's more of an ADA style page, like attention, interest, desire, action. The headline gets your attention. You can develop the interest by watching the video. You develop the desires. You read this message and the actions at the bottom. So there's a nice natural flow there, but you do. Right. I would test having that CTA there and not there because if people don't bother going down,
Right.
You never know with that. It's a.
Right. If optimization was only so easy that we can sit in our office and just know what's going to work, right? Yeah.
I find the font, the body text there on the small side too. The rest is pretty readable, but I find it kind of small. Okay, well, Ryan will come back eventually, I think, but it looks like we've lost him, but we can move on anyway. We've got our next page is from Stu Harrison from Hampson Hughes Solicitors. I don't know if this is the before or after that we're looking at right now.
This is before.
Hi, Stu. Is this the before?
This is the before, yeah.
Okay, cool. So you want to talk to us a little bit about, well, Tommy, actually, if you can bring on the new page. It's good that we got to see the old one, but Tommy, if you can flip to the new one. Okay, great. So Stu, can you tell us a little bit about what you changed? Because I know some things changed, definitely some logos added there.
Yeah, what I did, I was paying attention to the conversation momentum, which we discussed last week. I didn't want to repeat the same question at the top of the page. So I've continued that. They answer the question by clicking on the ad, and then they come through. And we just try and reinforce it, you don't have to suffer alone. And we talk about that we've helped hundreds of people in a similar situation. I've dropped the form down. I think it looked a little bit maybe right heavy last time. This is a lot more linear. And I've removed that testimonial. I completely agree. It looked a little bit dodgy, to say the least. I've just added the steps the client has to make now to start the claim.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And then all the content at the bottom, which was pretty relevant, I've removed. And I've just replaced it with the 4 main reasons people say on our feedback why they use our solicitors.
Okay, that's good that you did that based on a survey. That's great.
Cool. Are you running any tests on this right now, Stu, or you just made the changes?
We just went straight in with the changes. We weren't getting a large enough sample size to testing really. We think we only converted about 10 last week. Our conversions are up this week, but that could be coincidence of a small sample size.
Right. Pep, Ollie, you want to sort of chime in on?
Yeah. The headline, scroll up, Tommy. You don't have to suffer alone. I mean, suffering together is not a value proposition. So you want to change that. Suffering is not a good way to go, because ultimately it's about compensating for their loss or whatever. So the headline is, I think, quite terrible. And the call to action, start your claim, I feel that it's jumping the gun. It's like, I'm not even sure if you're the right fit, so why don't we just talk first? I don't want to start my claim. So why not start off with a no pressure, no obligation, consultation, like it says above the form. And my third comment would be, making a claim has never been so easy. It's a superlative, and I don't believe you, so don't use superlatives. And it's so easy. Just fill out these 255 steps. I mean, you say it's easy, but then you show these 5 steps. Doesn't seem very easy. So at this point, you want to get a lead in. They don't need to know how many steps there are. So I would definitely test removing those 1 to 5 bullets there.
Can we actually? Sorry, go ahead, Ollie.
I was just going to say, I mean, you have 5 there, like Pep says. You can make that 4 immediately by taking away the first one. Enter your details in the form. Well, yeah, duh. It's nice that you got people what to do. What's that?
Right.
2 and 3 can be combined. We'll call you and figure out if you have a claim.
Yeah. Number 5 is a little bit hard to understand. I get from that it's like, if you don't win, we won't charge you. But that's easier to understand than we guarantee you it should be you're missing an R.
Typo, yeah.
Claim will be 100% no win, no fee. It's a complicated string of words there.
Yeah, it is awkward, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I follow what that means. But I think the glaring sort of thing here is that there hasn't been a test that's run, right? So we don't really know. We can't make any judgments, or we can't make any assumptions because there's actually been no test that's run, which I think is really important that we talk about a bit, because all 3 pages haven't had a test run on them. So can we just talk a little bit about, just for people who don't have a ton of traffic, what do you guys consider significant? I know we touched on it briefly, but can we just talk a little bit about it again?
So let me just say that there is no universal stopping rule, like no heavenly divine universal rule. So it's always taking a risk. So it's just a matter of what are you comfortable risking. I would say a good ballpark is following these 3 criteria. A, your statistical confidence level is more than 95%, the p-value. Then your sample size, you have at least 100. Ideally 200 conversions per variation, and 3, your test has run at least 1 full week, ideally 2 full weeks or more. So time, sample size, and p-values, confidence level.
A confidence level, obviously, you're only going to get that unless you're a mathematician, if you're using software that tells you that.
Sure, you always need to use a tool. Don't rely on manual stuff here. Use Unbounce or any of those testing tools out there. There's so many of them.
Yeah, and don't just listen to experts.
Right. And sequential testing, meaning that you just roll out the changes. You don't know, because it's not apples to apples comparison anymore, because seasons change, traffic sources change, motivations change, everything changes. So it's not accurate. The only time to do sequential testing is that, yes, A, you have no traffic to A/B test, and B, you're going for changes that you will see right away. Massive change, like 50% change, 100% change. And of course, you can't know in advance whether that's going to happen, and usually those peak changes come from peak lifts come from peak changes. So just changing copy on your call to action will not give you a 50% lift.
Right.
Just a quick note on credibility for this page. I mean, you took away that testimonial because it did look kind of fake, but you should still try and get one in there, because there's not one anymore. Try and get one that seems realistic. Have someone's photo. But you're a solicitor, right? So there needs to be a lot of trust here that you're good lawyers. There's no address, there's no jurisdiction. I don't even know where you're from, like which country are you in. So, even
Oh, there's some at the bottom.
no, but that's you'd have to understand that to know what it means, right? It doesn't say what country.
Maybe if you're from the UK, yeah,
Yeah.
you understand what that means. You Canadians,
But I mean, that's talking to solicitors, saying that yeah, I don't know. I put your address in there.
Well, the market doesn't understand, right? The target market for this page doesn't understand what those logos mean, and that's the point. Okay, so thanks a lot, Stu. Did you have any other additional things you wanted to ask or add?
No, that's fine, thank you.
That's
Actually,
good. Okay.
Another
Awesome.
question.
Okay, so we've got Ryan back. He dropped off, his internet cut out, but we've got him back now. Tommy, if we can rewind a little bit to the Mind Over Pain page. We're just, if there was anything, sorry, Ryan, I don't know what it is that you missed. Well, let's wait for your page to come up. There it is. Yeah, can we scroll down a bit? Did you guys have anything to add? I just don't want to not give Ryan the opportunity to ask a last question or...
So I remember hearing to improve the image of me on the left, and then to also test having a call to action higher up on the page, and then I got cut out.
There's something at the top of the page. It says, Tommy, if you can go up, it says a note from Ryan Walsh. You need to say this, a note from you somehow, right? Because who's Ryan Walsh? Is this a testimonial? Because that looks like a testimonial rather than being from the person who's delivering this solution.
Makes sense.
Right. And I think that link is still not loading, by the way.
All right, I'll check that out. It's working for me, but maybe it's not working on all browsers.
Okay. Anything else to add about this page, or are we good? Because we should probably move it along. Okay. Thanks a lot, Ryan. Thanks for coming back to us.
Thank you, guys.
Cool. All right. So now that we've gone through the 3 pages, that was pretty painless, actually, and kind of quick. So what we're going to do now is we're going to open up the vote. So right below the screen on pagefights.com/episode 3. Right below where the monitor that you're watching, the video embed, there's a button to cast my vote. So if you go ahead and click that, you can choose one of the 3 pages, Paul Jarvis, the Write and Sell Your Damn Book, Ryan Walsh from Mind Over Pain, and Stu Harrison from Hampson Hughes Solicitors. That's the order. That's the 1, 2, 3. So go ahead and place your votes for that. While we're tallying the votes, because we're doing this live, so we can announce it at the end, we're going to go over some questions that have been coming in, and Tia's been queuing some up for me. So I've got Ollie and Pep, if you're... Way to go, Ollie. You look like you're ready for a workout.
A tennis match.
Right. Okay, so I've got some questions. I've got David. The question is for it's for both of you. Ollie, Pep, how far down the page should I assume the fold is so I can keep the important stuff above it?
Well, short answer is estimate 650 to 700 pixels. However, of course, the fold will be different for each device, each resolution. So what you want to do is, you want to go to Google Analytics, Audiences, pull up your screen resolutions report, and then you see the different resolutions you have, and then based on that you can estimate. And B, if you use kind of a mouse tracking tool like Session Cam, then you can see the attention map or scroll depth map and see how far down people scroll, because it's not binary, it's not 1 and 0, it's gradual. The attention drops off gradually.
Right.
Great answer.
All right. So next question for Ollie. This is from Anna. Which tools do you recommend to run tests after making changes? Oh, this so shouldn't have been directed at you. We should.
Well,
sorry.
we
have an app for that.
You shouldn't. Well, first of all, you shouldn't be using a tool after you make changes. You should use a tool to make changes. So it depends what you're doing. If you have a landing page, then if you need to create something, you'd use Unbounce, something like that, so you can create the page and then you can test it. If you're testing a page on your website, you'd use a different tool like Optimize or Visual Website.
Or if you already created 2 HTML files, you can use the free Google Content Experiments built into Google Analytics. It's split testing only, meaning split URL testing. So if you have 2 different pages, that's a free tool to use. It's not lacks the visual editor like Unbounce has or Optimizely and all that stuff, but gets the job done as well.
Cool. Okay, so next question is from David. There's a lot coming in, so I'm trying to keep track of where I am here. Question from David is: if a page is not converting at all, is it reasonable to test a lot of changes at once, just to get something to build on?
Right. If it completely sucks, nothing's working for it, a radical makeover is a good idea. However, you should not base the radical makeover on whatever you feel like, hey, let's just change everything and see what happens. That's not a way to go. You need to do qualitative research, quantitative, go to people, your target audience, figure out what they want, how they want it, why they don't want what you have right there, right now. So conduct surveys, do user testing, gather information before you come up with your next version.
Okay. Ollie?
No, that's what I would have said.
All right. Next question is from, and I think this is probably the last one we have time for because we're only at about 4 minutes left. It's from Amanda. So, Ollie, should I split test copy, headlines, CTA test before design? How do I know what to prioritize if I'm only testing one thing at a time? That's a good question.
You can prioritize things based on, I mean, there's a, Chris Geyer from Why the Funnel has a nice way of looking at this. It's called a pie for prioritization. The
potential importance, ease of implementation.
Yeah, so you want
that really doesn't tell you. That's not really useful in this case, I would say, Ollie, because you don't know what's the potential, or you don't know what's the importance. So again, you're jumping the gun here. Before deciding what's more important, design or copy, you need to figure out what's the problem. How do you know what's the problem? Well, again, you do qualitative surveys, user testing, all that stuff. So you need to gather data that tells you whether the problem is with this or that or the other thing. And then you know if it's the copy or the design or something else.
I would say, and maybe, I don't know if you agree on this, Pep, though, that a lot of the time the copy is really the most important thing. You need both. You can't, shitty design.
Typically, copy is going to give you a better, it's more bang for the buck than design. Unless, it all depends, right? It depends how crappy your design is. Maybe it's god-awful. I don't know.
But if you have attention-driven design, a design that's focusing people on what they need to consume and understand, that illuminates your failings as a copywriter. So the better the design is, the more easily you'll figure out that your copy sucks.
Right. So definitely, it's probably your offer that sucks than the colors on your site or where what is. But without seeing it, it's hard to give specifics.
Okay. So sorry, one last one has just come through here. Hudson asked, some landing pages deal with difficult products to sell, and it would be interesting to see how Pep and Ollie tackle difficult products, as some of us as designers don't have a say in what's being sold, only how to sell it. And what would be the best approach for that problem?
I think that's best.
Sum up what the problem is?
Well, my understanding is it's like difficult products to sell and how designers who don't have a say in the product itself or how the product is...
Well, sure, that's 99% of designers. You're not alone in this, mate. So when you say difficult, do you mean a complicated product? Well, the more complicated and or expensive a product is, it just typically means that you need more copy, you need more information. And also, if it's a more rational purchase, you need more copy. If it's more emotional purchase, like concert tickets, you tend to need less copy and less design.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so the voting is, I think, about to close up. It's being tallied, but we have Thanks a lot, guys, by the way. We have the 3 prizes to announce right now. So we've got the referral prize, the audience participation, which is Tia's getting that for me, and also the landing page champion is being tallied right now because we're closing off voting now. So let's go to the participation, sorry, for the referral. The winner is, thank you, whoever that was, Jody Elias will be the winner, is the winner of the referral prize. So she will be winning a 30-minute one-on-one consultation with Tommy Walker of ConversionXL and entry into the ConversionXL conversion course, which is huge, and also getting 6 months free of Unbounce Pro 99 plan. So a really good package there. Jody, you're going to be pretty set up. The next one, let me go and look. The audience participation is Margarita. I have no idea how to pronounce your last name. Bukariva, I believe. And that's the participation winner for today. And she wins entry into the conversion course as well from ConversionXL. And Tia will contact both of you guys and let you know how to claim your prizes. And let's see. Okay, so we're going to... Okay, we can announce now the actual landing page champion. I have the name. It's just come to me. I'm opening the envelope. The winner is Ryan Walsh. Yay!
All right.
Awesome. And he's got the crown. That's great. That's great.
Thank you,
All right,
guys. Thanks to everyone who voted for me.
So actually what you've won is the one-on-one consultation with Pep, so he can help you a bit further with that page or whatever page you want. It's 30 minutes one-on-one. And you'll also get entrance into the conversion course, which opens up next week, and 1 year actually of Unbounce for free. So you weren't testing that page before, now you can, and it will be very, very easy. So Pep, you're armed with that now that he has an A/B testing tool to work with. It'll be a lot easier for you guys to get some actionable stuff going.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Awesome. Okay, so what else do I have to do here? I have a list of stuff I have to go through. All right, the crown is on your head. Way to go, Ollie. You look like you gotta stop, seriously. All right, so this was a lot of fun, and this was also an experiment. So these 3 episodes have been quite the experience for all of us. There's been a lot of people involved in this. I've got Tommy and Tia have been behind the scenes on this the whole time, and of course, thanks a lot so much to Ollie and Pep for taking time out for 3 Fridays now. So we've been receiving a lot of feedback, but we definitely want more feedback. So hit me up on Twitter or just use the hashtag PageFights. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you think could be done better. We've got lots of ideas for how we can improve this, and we will be doing it again because feedback has been great, but if you have format suggestions, just let us know. So the important thing, actually, for you guys to know now is that below that the email field there, fill it out, because if you want a chance to have your landing page critiqued by like the two of the most awesome CRO experts in the space live, then enter your email address there, and you'll be the first to know when you can start submitting for the next round of page fights. So you definitely want to register for that and take advantage, because we will definitely be doing more of these. And yeah, so that's important information. And also, just for sticking around this long and making it through the 3 episodes, you're going to get 50% off for 3 months following your 30-day trial of Unbounce. Tommy, if you want to pull up the page there that's got the landing page URL, because of course we made a landing page for this. It's okay. It's already there.
Yep.
Okay, so that's it. Try unbounce.com/page-fights-offer, and definitely don't forget to get on the waiting list for the ConversionXL conversion course. That's opening next week, and it's between Thursday and Saturday are the only days that Pep's going to be accepting people in there. Only 3 days, so get on that waiting list and find out how to get yourself involved in that. It's probably not going to be a course you're going to want to miss, especially with somebody as opinionated as Pep. So thanks so much, everybody, for... Pardon?
I said as data-driven as Pep.
Right, sorry. Opinionated and data-driven, of course. All right, final words, guys?
This was fun.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was a lot of fun.
All right, awesome. So we'll see you guys again soon. Don't forget to register, and thanks so much. Bye.
Bye.
See you guys.